While most financial decisions are usually discussed between married couples, most people don't realize that they can file bankruptcy without their spouse. My name is Perlman. I'm a consumer bankruptcy attorney. I've been helping consumers and businesses get a financial fresh start since 1994. In this video, I want to talk about bankruptcy specifically as it relates to people who are married. As I said before, most financial decisions are discussed between partners in a typical marriage. And that's mainly because there are so many joint financial decisions that are made as the marital unit. But it is possible for one spouse to file bankruptcy without the other, and that's called an individual bankruptcy. I'd first like to talk about the advantages of filing an individual bankruptcy when you're married. One of the advantages of filing individually can be to protect assets. That could be a situation where one spouse, for example, owns a piece of real estate that the other spouse does not. Another reason that someone might want to file individually would be to limit their exposure to their credit report. For example, if one spouse files, credit reports are individual to the filer, so it will only impact the filer's credit report. It is also generally less severe if you file individually than filing jointly. Another advantage of filing individually while married is flexibility, where you can choose which debts you choose to discharge and which debts you don't, based on who's filing. While there are significant advantages in a married situation where one spouse files individually, there are disadvantages as well. One of those disadvantages could be creditors may be able to collect debts from the non-filing spouse if they're joint debts. One of the other disadvantages of filing individually is future financial planning. Filing individually could and might have long-term consequences for the future financial plan as a marital unit as a whole. For example, if the marital unit plans to acquire real estate in the future, the individual who filed, their credit will be considered while the mortgage company, for example, looks at their overall joint financial picture. Another disadvantage of filing individually could be labeled the complexity. The process of filing individually in some cases can be more complex as there are issues related to separate property, community property, and the division of assets. Another consideration with respect to filing individually when you're married is household income. And this is a common misperception and an area that is deeply misunderstood. If an individual is filing bankruptcy and they're married, you are still required to provide the non-filing spouse's income. That does not mean the non-filing spouse is filing. It simply means that the court is looking at overall household income. Whether it's advisable for one spouse to file bankruptcy with the other depends obviously on a variety of situations and the specific laws in your state, meaning the exemptions and what property you'll be able to hold on to. That's why it's critical that you consult with an experienced bankruptcy attorney to understand the advantages and disadvantages about individually filing bankruptcy when you're married. If you or someone you know is facing financial difficulty, contact the firm for a free financial consultation. Contacting a bankruptcy firm does not necessarily mean you're filing bankruptcy. It means you're learning what your options are.